All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're doing more than just telling the story of Netflix. We're going to crack open its playbook, reverse engineer its success, and turn it into a practical guide for anyone out there trying to build a modern startup. So it all starts with this question, right? Think about it. Blockbuster and cable TV were absolute giants. They were seemingly untouchable. So how on earth did a tiny company mailing out DVDs not only survive, but end up taking over the entire living room? Well, the answer is a total masterclass in strategy. And this is exactly how they did it. See, Netflix didn't just try to build a slightly better version of cable TV. No way. They looked at every single thing that drove us crazy about the old model. The fixed schedules, those ridiculously expensive bundles, having zero control. And they built a product that was the complete opposite. They didn't just join the game, they completely rewrote the rulebook. So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to break down the 5 core strategies that you can literally apply to your own venture. We'll start with the big one, how to make your competition totally irrelevant right from day one. This right here is the foundational principle. The goal isn't just to steal a piece of the pie, it's to bake a whole new pie where you're the only one with the recipe. There's actually a term for this magic, disruptive innovation. And it's not about having the flashiest product with the most features. It's about being simpler, cheaper, more accessible. Netflix started with a super simple idea, no more late fees, and used that tiny wedge to slowly and methodically take down a billion-dollar industry. But here's the thing, disruption isn't a one-and-done deal. Netflix's real genius is in its constant, and I mean constant, evolution. And that brings us to the second play in the book. You have to evolve your product relentlessly. This timeline just perfectly illustrates their incredible journey. They started with DVDs, a physical product. Then they pivoted to streaming. And get this, they basically killed their own golden goose to do it. After that, they became a full-blown studio, making their own shows. And finally, they went global. Each one of these phases was a massive, company-defining bet. This right here, this might be the single most important lesson for any founder. Back in 2007, Netflix had to make a choice. Were they in the business of mailing plastic discs, or were they in the business of delivering entertainment? By choosing entertainment, they transformed themselves from a logistics company into a truly scalable tech platform, and that set the stage for everything that followed. Okay, so having a great product isn't enough. You need a system, an engine that fuels its growth almost automatically. And for Netflix, that system is an incredibly powerful feedback loop. It's called the content flywheel, and it's the engine at the very heart of their business. It sounds simple, but in practice, it is incredibly powerful. And here's how it works. More people sign up, which gives Netflix a ton of data on what we're all watching. They use that data to make or buy better, more addictive content. That amazing new content attracts even more users, and the wheel just spins faster and faster and faster. It's a brilliant self-perpetuating growth machine. This whole engine was powered by some really smart product decisions. Giving us total on-demand control was the killer feature. The subscription model gave them predictable money to work with. Releasing entire seasons at once, well, they literally created binge watching, which just skyrocketed engagement. And of course, personalization made every single one of us feel like Netflix was built just for us. Okay, so you've changed the game, you've built a growth engine. So now what? How do you stop everyone else from just copying you? Well, you build a moat, a set of advantages so strong that they're almost impossible for competitors to overcome. And the foundation of their moats is just pure mind-boggling scale. We are talking about over 300 million subscribers around the world. A number that big gives Netflix an almost insurmountable advantage in everything from data to content deals. Think of these as the 4 walls of their fortress. First, owning content like Stranger Things means you have to subscribe to watch it. Simple. Second, their data advantage means they know what to make better than pretty much anyone else. Third, their global scale lets them spread those huge content costs across a massive user base. And finally, their tech ensures a perfect, smooth stream for everyone. But, of course, no kingdom is safe forever. The streaming world is now jam-packed with competitors, the cost to make big shows is exploding, and, kind of ironically, Netflix has now introduced ads, making it look just a little bit more like the old cable model it completely destroyed. The evolution never, ever stops. So let's bring this all home. Let's distill everything we've talked about into a final, actionable playbook. These are the key lessons you can take from Netflix's journey and apply directly to your own venture. Seriously, this is your checklist. Number 1, start with a simple wedge, just like Netflix did with DVDs. 2, be brave enough to kill your own cash cow for the next big thing. That takes real guts. 3, never forget that convenience is king. 4, build a predictable, recurring revenue model. And 5, figure out what your most important asset is. For Netflix, it's content, and then own it. If you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this formula right here. This is the essence of the entire Netflix playbook. It's the powerful combination of these 5 elements that created a global entertainment giant and fundamentally changed the way we watch, well, everything. And that brings us to our final and maybe most important question. Netflix successfully disrupted cable, but in doing so, it's become the new establishment, the new giant. So the ultimate question for the next generation of founders, for you, is this. Using this exact playbook we just broke down, what industry is next? And who's going to be the one to change the game all over again?